What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to another F1 2016 preview video. This one's going to be, I'm not going to lie, very kind of mashed around, a lot of different things in this video to discuss. And the first thing we're going to talk about in this video is manual starts. Now, a lot of you have been firstly asking how that actually fully works, you know, not quite understanding what it is, because obviously if you just look at the screenshot, you might not understand what's actually happening here. So basically the way the manual start works, let's say you're on a PS4 controller or an Xbox One controller, you will hold down A, which is the upshift button, or X in the PS4's case, which is the upshift button for the PS4, and that will hold in the clutch, basically. Only hold in the clutch for the start of the race. Obviously, once you get off the line, it then becomes the upshifter button, and you hold in the clutch, you build up the revs, and then you go. And there's an optimum RPM to find. You can just go full rev max, but you'll just get a lot of wheel spin, and then if you try and go too low, you might bog down, and that's something I'm going to show you just now, that there is a difference in the manual starts you can get. You can bog down, or you can get a fantastic start, and that also goes for the AI. You'll notice in a few of these clips the AI sometimes get bad starts and actually bog down quite a lot compared to myself when I was doing the manual start. So I'm going to roll the clips, a few different starts from different cars as well, and you're going to see hopefully the difference in the start procedure. So hopefully you saw from those clips that there is a difference in the starts you can get, and you definitely can bog down. That's been confirmed by the developers in the Cody's forum and stuff like that, that if you go too low, you will bog down. But if you go low enough, there is that really good sweet spot where you literally get away like, let's say, Fernando Alonso a lot of the time in 2012 and just blast off the line. But you can also at the same time just go full RPM, you know, get some wheel spin, manage that wheel spin if you don't feel confident enough trying to find that RPM kind of sweet spot. Also, a lot of people have been asking, do I have to do manual starts? You don't have to do manual starts. You can turn that off. It's just like it's a race setting before the race starts, so you can just turn that off, and the start will pretty much be like F1 2015. But of course, as we've guys seen, you know, you've seen plenty of times when I played F1 2015 on the career modes, the start is pretty crap. It's not really a great start. You can never get a good start on the AI, so you really do want to try and learn how to do the manual starts. Also, a few people are asking, can you do it if you do auto gears? You can do the manual pits. You can do the manual start if you do run auto gears, because it's no different. If you run auto gears, you can technically still use your manual gears. If you run auto gears, if you just click the upshift button, you will notice that you do upshift. The game might just automatically shift back down for you because it doesn't think that's the correct gear for you, but you can still use them. So just like that with the manual starts, they'll still work if you use that assist. Yeah, you can also just completely skip it if you don't want to. It's the same thing with the formation lap as well. You can skip the formation lap if you don't want to faff around with that. I don't know if you get like bored of it or anything like that. You can just skip that. So that was the little kind of segment I wanted to do on manual starts. Now I'm going to roll a clip of in the middle of a Hockenheim race in the Red Bull. I think it's against Ultimate AI, but don't quote me on that. I really can't remember what AI setting it was. But all I know is I was a bit further back because I had a poor start and a bad first lap, and then I was trying to chase down these McLaren. So I thought it was quite nice gameplay. And you can also see a few little things, a few little details in there that I'll come back to that are quite interesting. So I'll roll the clip now and I'll come back later. So, hopefully in that clip, you would have seen this, changing strategy. And I mentioned this in my career mode preview, part 2, I think it was, about changing strategy mid-race. And so, your engineer will come up to you sometimes and ask you if you want to change strategy, or you can do it yourself, and basically towards your pit stop phase, it will come into play where you'll get to decide if you want to change the strategy. So, you'll see on the screen, the first option is confirm the change. So, make a one-stop race out of this Hockenheim race, and pit on lap 4 for soft tyres, so that you can see also it says new, so you can definitely know which one is the new one, because obviously if you're racing around, you don't want to be faffing around putting the wrong strategy on, and if you come into pit stop, you're going to be pretty pissed off if they put on the wrong tyres that you thought were going to go on. And then keep current, which is the obvious, the one we started off with, the 2-stop, pitting on lap 5 for a set of super soft. So your engineer will ask you towards the pit stops if you want to make that strategy change. That will also change if things happen within the race. Let's say if you crash off your front wing or just break a little bit of it, there may be a chance that your engineer maybe suggests a different strategy if it's going to work out better for you, perhaps. Because of course, you know, now on the new gen of F1 games, now if you break off a little bit of your end plate, the car basically understeers like an absolute boat. So your engineer might, you know, advise you to completely change your strategy around to work with that extra pit stop that you might be making because of that front wing damage. Or if, you know, a crash happens with AI and a safety car comes out, or yellow flag, I don't really know. Different scenarios will basically bring out this change of strategy, which is really great to see. And as I mentioned in the previous career mode preview video about the whole strategy changing because of your practice session, the strategy you now do will change depending on the tyre wear tests you do, and that will now play into also directly into your strategies, because your engineer might suggest to you a default strategy that you never considered, and the strategy you might have chosen right now might be a little bit worse. So he might kind of actually suggest a better one and kind of help you out in that sense, because there have been times in the past where you might have done a wrong strategy and you don't really know what the optimum strategy is. The engineer will try and help you out in that sense. And then also at the end of that clip, hopefully you would have seen the pit stop coming in, the kind of new graphic for the pit stop, you know, braking manually into the pit lane entry. So that will stop things like at Canada, Silverstone. I'm trying to think what other places have sort of pit lane like that. Monza, you know, pit entrances where typically on F1 2015 you literally just had your foot down and you would come in and the game would like magically brake, you know, in like 5 seconds down to you know, 80 miles per hour or whatever it is. So now you have to actually properly put some brake force in there to get the thing slowed down, and you do get a penalty if you do speed in the pit lane. It can vary in terms of the penalty. It could be a 5 second, and that moves us on to a very interesting point, which is a brand new penalty, which I even didn't realize until I was watching the footage back, that there is now a 5-second stop-go penalty. So just like real Formula 1 now, we've seen a lot more of that penalty come into play, where the FIA like to use that penalty a lot more often, which is, as Martin Brundle has explained before, it's a little bit of pain, but not enough that you're completely out of the race. A 5-stop-and-go penalty, so either if you don't make a pit stop, that will be added to your time, so that's just like a normal 5-second penalty, or if you do have a pit stop yet to make, it's going to be cool that you can come into the pit, and basically the team won't work on your car for 5 seconds, then they'll work on your car and make that pit stop just like real life. So really nice to see that sort of penalty in there, and I completely didn't actually realize it was in the game until I, you know, reviewed the footage, because in the build we played back in March when we tested the game out, I don't think it ever came up that there was a 5-second stop-go penalty. So it was really nice to see that, and it came up when I was trying to make that safety car happen at that career mode race in Australia with the Ferrari. And so finally, last bit in this video is showing you a screenshot of what the virtual safety car kind of screen and graphics look like. I'm not going to show you any footage because this is not my footage. This is from someone else who went to the capture event, so I don't want to use their footage. I just want to use a screenshot just to kind of show you that. I'll link their footage in the description below, so you can go check that out if you do want to see the actual virtual safety car actually moving around in terms of how it works. But you can get the gist of it. Basically, the virtual safety car comes out, you have to stick to that delta time, and you can see in the top right that delta will move up and down, so it will move into the red if you're going too fast, and it will be green if you're going slow enough. So you have to obviously stay within that delta time, and you can't gain any advantage on the AI in front of you, and adversely the AI can't get any advantage on you as well. So that's how the safety car, that's how the virtual safety car works, obviously, but that is just confirming to you the actual graphics for it. Obviously, unfortunately, I wasn't unable to get an actual virtual safety car in my session of recording. I could only get the actual safety car, which I showed off in the career mode part 2. But that's been this video. I know a little bit kind of mishmash of different things, but there's a lot of different things that just came to me that I wanted to show you guys and thought would be quite intriguing. And obviously, a lot of you guys have had questions for me in the comments comment section, also on Twitter a lot of the time. So I'm thinking about doing like a kind of your questions answered sort of video on the F1 2016 preview. So if you have questions for me in terms of things that maybe were not explained well enough, or you saw something in a video and you want me to explain that, then let me know in the comments below this video. Ask me any questions you have about F1 2016, be it the career mode, the AI, or the handling maybe. I mean, I've answered a lot of that stuff in previous videos, you know, when I went to test the game in March, but obviously there's quite a few new people that have subscribed to the channel, so you may not have seen those videos. If you haven't, click the card right now in the top right, and that'll take you to a playlist of all the videos I've made on F1 2016 in terms of all the stuff that I know from testing the game back in March, so you might get clued in. But if you do have any kind of new questions, then let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that's been this video. Hopefully you did find it informative. If you did, hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, and subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoyed today, and I'll see you guys next time.